Imagine you're floating in space. It's quiet and cold, serene and slightly terrifying. Suddenly, you feel a tug. It's faint at first, but it gets stronger, pulling you towards an empty region of the sky. Before you know it, you've fallen into a black hole. Could you survive? Maybe, but it's going to get a bit weird. Black holes are objects so massive and dense that not even beams of light, the fastest things in the universe, can escape their gravitational pull. Essentially, any object sufficiently compressed can form a black hole. So if an evil alien empire decided to squash Earth down, it would form a black hole about the size of a peanut. Making a black hole is hard work. The existence of black holes was predicted by Einstein's theory of general relativity, which states that matter warps space and time, creating what we call gravity. The theory also predicts that when two black holes collide, they send out ripples through the fabric of space-time called gravitational waves. These ripples were first detected in 2015 by an incredibly sensitive experiment called LIGO, proving Einstein right. Then in 2019 we managed to photograph a black hole for the first time. On the picture we can see a bright ring of material circling the black hole itself, which is silhouetted in the centre. Pretty amazing, huh? And there's even more exciting research going on all the time. In New Scientist you can read loads more amazing stories from the world of physics. Subscribe now and save 20% by hitting the link on the screen and using the code SAM20. If you're unfortunate enough to get sucked into a black hole, it would be devastating but also pretty spectacular. As you circle the drain of this cosmic plug hole, all the photons being pulled alongside you would create a stream of blinding light, and the stars would begin to distort and bend. Then a looming darkness would wash over you. Any further and you'll cross the event horizon, the line where the gravity of the black hole is too strong to resist. You wouldn't just be crushed, but your body would be pulled apart at different speeds, resulting in what physicists delightfully call spaghettification. Once you're inside the black hole, it gets a bit harder to work out what happens. General relativity's equations fail catastrophically at the centre of the black hole, called the singularity. This is where quantum theory comes into play, but quantum theory and general relativity don't really get along. General relativity says when matter falls into a black hole, information is destroyed, but quantum mechanics says that can't happen. We need a unified theory to reconcile the two. One way to do that is with string theory, which says that matter isn't composed of fundamental particles after all, it's actually made of tiny strings. If that's the case, then black holes aren't really black holes at all, they're just fuzzy balls of tangled string. You'd still die a pretty terrible death if you fell into one of these fuzzballs, but instead of becoming part of nothing, you would become part of this tangled ball of string. Still, that's not much of a consolation. Is there a way you could survive? Well, sort of. Black holes come in a range of sizes, from as small as a single atom to 1,000,000 times the mass of the Sun or more. If you have a choice, your best bet is to fall into a larger one. Although the gravity is bigger, the stretching tidal force is less, meaning you might just live to tell the tale. Unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to escape and tell anyone what you'd seen. Or could you? There is one possible way you could make it out again, through a hypothetical object called a white hole. Just as black holes don't allow anything to escape, white holes can't keep anything together. One idea is that every black hole is connected to a white one through an interdimensional tunnel called a wormhole. Fall into one and you'll eventually get thrown out the other end where space-time bounces back out, vomiting you up with it. Alternatively, you could wait for a black hole to turn into a white one. To an outside observer this would take billions of years, but inside, thanks to the strong gravitational pull, time would be speeded up, taking you mere milliseconds. So maybe there is a way you can fall into a black hole and survive, but I don't fancy the risk myself. Spaghettification just doesn't sound very nice. What about you? Tell us in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Science with Sam.